I'm working on a budget. We're a one-income family of 7, building a homestead from scratch, and I've got a 150 square meter garden that I need to get the soil up and going for the summer. There are 4 things that I found online that's freely available that I can use in my garden. These are the 4 things. We've got coffee grounds, we've got wood ash, I've got manure from the farm, and I've got eggshells. And then there's a 5th one that I'll tell you at the end. Come and figure this out with me. I've got no idea. I used to be an urban homesteader with a small vegetable garden. I've never done this to scale. So let's see what we can find out. So the first thing that I found online is wood ash. Now I like myself a good roaring fire in the winter. It's our main source of heat in our home. So wood ash increases your pH in your soil and it gives potassium. So what that means, I don't really know. I'm still working on that. But what I'm doing is I'm literally every morning grabbing a bucket. I'm tossing everything in the bucket and I'm supposed to sprinkle it over my soil. So in a big garden, I think I'm just going to work it into the ground and I'm going to add some on my compost pile. So if you ever used wood ash in your garden, please let me know if I'm on the right track. The next one on my list is coffee grounds. Now, I am a huge coffee lover and I buy big packets of coffee grounds. I drink at least 2 cups in the morning. So what I'm doing is whatever's left over, I just toss it into a bucket, and then I've got like a big old maize bag at the back and I'm throwing it in there. So the water and the fluid is running into the soil, but the coffee grinds are drying up. I'm going to do the same with them as I'm doing with the wood ash, because it adds nitrogen to leafy greens. So that is your spinach, that's your lettuces and those type of things. So once again, let me know if I'm on the right track, but now I've got even a bigger reason to drink more coffee. The other one I found was eggshells. Now I use eggshells for my laying hens all the time. I put it in a bag like this, I let it dry outside, and then I first throw it into the oven, bake it down, and then crush and give it as calcium to my chicken. So I know that. But apparently you can do the same for your garden. I always crush it about like this, like grid size for the chickens. But it takes a really long time in my compost heap to break down. So what I'm thinking is I should probably like grind it down to a powder and then add it to the soil and add it to the compost heap. But do I add it directly into the soil or do I sprinkle it on top? I am not sure. I need to figure that out. But surely I don't have to bake it before I put it in the soil, or does that help with releasing the calcium? I don't know. Help. The next thing I am looking for that I get for free for my garden is manure, specifically horse manure at the moment. Now, the most important thing about manure is it's freely available on most farms. And if you phone a friend and you say, listen, can I come and pick up your horse's poo? They will be fine with it. But you cannot use fresh manure in your garden because it's what's called hot. It will burn your plants. So if you get dried horse manure that is crumbly, that is like grass, you can put that into your garden. However, you need to be careful because a lot of these manures still have seeds locked in them because they haven't been composted yet. I can't find, there we go. And these seeds will germinate in your garden and become part of your vegetables. Now, this looks like either corn or maize of some sort. So it won't really be a problem because it's a vegetable. Well, it's grain, I can use it in my garden. But I don't want to bring in grass seeds and anything like that. So the best part will be to get this manure. I'm going to go and pick some fresh manure as well, and to combine the two into a compost pile that you leave for 3 to 6 months, turning regularly until you have that beautiful, rich compost. If you choose to use dried manure, make sure it's completely crumbly, make sure it doesn't smell like anything and it's like dried grass. Then it should be fine. The last thing I'm going to be using, and don't judge me for this, is toilet rolls. In my size garden that I'm planning, I'm going to need a lot of plants, and I won't be able to buy it from the nursery, so I'll be starting everything from seeds, which I've done. But buying seedling trays to start from seeds is really expensive. The other day at Agrimark, I was looking at one tray of about 24, and it was 50 Rand. So to give you an idea, I want to do lavender plants at the front of our entrance, which is 44 meters long. I'm going to need about 60 lavender plants just for that. Now, thankfully, my friend's lavender plant seeded. Did you know lavender plants can seed? I've never knew that. I've always done stickies, cuttings from it. Anyway, tangent. So she's going to give me some of her little plants, and she's going to plant it in seedling trays. But what I saw is you can actually cut your toilet rolls in half and then add soil and do your seeds in there, and then you transplant this into your soil because the toilet roll can break down. So I have been collecting toilet rolls, which luckily we have a lot of because we go through a lot of toilet paper. Right now the garden is looking rough. Most of the plants that I have transplanted from our house in town has taken, some are even flourishing like the kapokbos, but there's still lots of work to be done. This soil will need a lot of love and a lot of attention to get where it needs to be for me to have a successful vegetable garden. Our plan is eggshells for calcium, coffee grounds for nitrogen, wooders for potassium, and then aged manure for the rest. Am I on the right track? If you are a gardener that's done this on scale, like large gardens, please give me some advice. It's a big 150 square meter garden that I need to lay out. I need to start seeds in about 2 weeks, beginning of August. I've already have some little plants going over here, but I would love any ideas and any guidance in this. So join me on the journey.